r/NoSleep. Posted by u/la_happy. There's a shadow in the corner of my room. It's offered me a job with a concerning list of rules. I don't think it's a shadow. Let me make this quick. Before the thing realizes I'm aware of its presence. I live alone in an apartment that has been here for years. It's only my first week of living in it when I saw something horrific. My apartment is a fairly large flat with 4 rooms, a bathroom, a living room, a bedroom and a kitchen. It didn't have many occupants before me and was fairly cheap. I've been looking for a good quality apartment at a fair price for over a year now, and when I saw how much monthly rent needed to pay for the apartment, it was too good to pass up. I immediately contacted the landlord to see if the flat was still vacant, and to my luck it was. We discussed when would be an appropriate time to meet and sign a contract. After a few minutes of talking we both agreed on the coming Thursday. When we met, the landlord seemed a little shaky. She was an elderly woman, supposedly in her 70s, and was very kind. She talked with a soft but anxious tone that couldn't help but make me jittery. I quickly signed the contract without hesitation or reading the fine print. I was eager to move into the apartment. I moved into my new home the following Monday and fell in love with it as soon as I stepped into it. I couldn't wait to decorate the new and empty house with my furniture and belongings. When I finished unpacking and organizing I realized it was already 8 p.m. I went to my bed and saw there was a wall that had a ledge on it. I never had a wall like that, so it was quite weird to me at first because I kept seeing a weird shadow out of the corner of my eye, but I ignored it and told myself it's just my imagination. I climbed into my bed and covered myself completely with my new sheet covers, inhaling the fresh, clean smell a product has when you buy something new. And I fell asleep a few minutes later. I suddenly woke up to the sound of low growling coming from the ledge corner of my room wall. Intrigued, I peeked out of my covers to try and catch a glimpse of what was making that noise, and my eyes went wide. It was a black slim figure. No, it wasn't black. It was the color of nothingness. It had elongated arms and nails with eyes so white they pierced through your soul. It had teeth so yellow and sharp they could tear through flesh in seconds. It was at least 8 feet tall with its legs dangling from the ledge, barely whisking the floor. It made a low growling noise that bared all its yellow and sharp teeth. It's 3 a.m. now and the growling turned into a light singing. It's singing a foul, disturbing version of London Bridge is Falling Down. The singing still sounds like it's coming from the ledge, so it's good the thing isn't coming closer. If it comes any closer I'm afraid I might do something to alert it in a wake. Oh god, it just got off its ledge and is making its way towards my bed, and it's singing louder. It's standing right above me. I can feel it breathing above my body. Fuck. I made a noise. The singing stopped for a bit, and I felt it lean closer to me. I looked up and saw it smile. It grabbed my foot and dragged me across the floor. At this point I'm screaming with tears running down my face as its claws dug into my ankles. I closed my eyes, accepting my fate while sobbing endlessly, when I felt the grip on my ankle vanish completely. I opened my eyes and the figure wasn't dragging me. I was back in my bed. The creature was still at the edge of my bed singing. London Bridge is falling down. Falling down. Falling down. London Bridge is falling down. My fair lady. Update. I survived the night, but I didn't sleep a wink with that. That thing singing its screams of a lullaby and the state of confusion it left me in. I will never forget the traumatizing event I experienced that night. The demonic screeching stopped at about 5 a.m. as the thing walked away from my bed and made its way back to its ledge. I sighed in relief, but it didn't climb back onto its ledge as I hoped. Instead it raised its long finger with its impossibly sharp nail and wrote on the wall. I peeked out of my sweat-drenched covers to see what was going on and my eyes went wide with horror. I watched, paralyzed with fear, struggling not to make noise that will alert the creature I'm awake. It finished its writing, climbed back onto its ledge and disappeared as soon as I blinked. I stared at my ceiling, spaced out with disbelief that this was all in my head. The details of my experience were too vivid and real to just be a piece of my imagination. In the morning I recounted the events of the night before in my head. I sat in my kitchen dazed. The kitchen had an island table with an automated sink and dishwasher. The cupboards were painted a light yellow with little white flowers. I thought to myself how such a nice house could hold an entity so evil. When it hit me. I never read the message the creature left on my bedroom wall, if it was even there in the first place, as it might have been all in my head. I rushed to my room and I stopped in my tracks at the doorway. Don't tell them you can see. The wall read. With a website carved at the bottom. I shuddered, goosebumps crawling all over my skin, the hair on the back of my neck standing up, remembering the creature's smile as it dragged me out of my bed. Or was that in my head? No, it was too real to be in my head. Brushing away those thoughts, I quickly got my laptop, opened it, and typed the website link. I was shocked by what it presented. It was a job offer to fill the role of night security guard at a company I've never seen or heard of before. The website with the job offer read, "Hello. If you're seeing this, then you have been chosen. You've been hired to work at our company. For the sake of your safety, I will not mention the company name. If you refuse the offer, they will come for you. Arrive at, redacted, 30 minutes before 10 p.m. this Tuesday. When you arrive, wait 5 minutes before going in the building. Make sure you hear your footsteps on the pavement when walking towards the building. If you don't, quickly get in your car, then wait 2 more minutes before trying to enter the building. When you enter the building, you will be greeted by a lady receptionist wearing a white pantsuit. When you see her, greet her politely, then she will show you to the security guard booth. There will be a receiver there, which I will further instruct you on what to do. If she is wearing any other color pantsuit, then do not engage with her and just sit down on a chair at the very back row. Make sure it's the very last row. She will try to get you to speak, but do not under any circumstances. If it's silent for a few minutes, look at the desk and you will see the lady receptionist with a white pantsuit. Proceed to greet her and she will show you to the booth with the receiver. You are to wear either a black or gray suit with a red tie and a blazer. Wear comfortable shoes that you can run in and make sure the cuffs of your pants cover your ankles. Bring a bag that's not too heavy, it might slow you down if you have to run. Inside the bag bring a blindfold, earplugs, and 2 crosses. Leave room for a piece of paper. Show up, be on time and follow the rules. The company. I stared at my screen in shock. I've been chosen? Was my response to this message. I decided I had to go work there, in fear that the creature and who knows what else, might come back to do something horrible to me. Tuesday came around and I prepared myself mentally for the job and got all the objects asked for, in a bag that was fairly light. I dressed in a black suit with a black blazer and red tie. I wore my nicest running shoes, made sure my ankles were covered by my pants, and reviewed the rules needed to get into the building safely, to the point they were engraved in my brain. I made my way to my car and hopped in. Started the engine up and took off towards my destination. When I arrived, I waited 5 minutes, then grabbed my bag, got out the car and walked towards the building. I was halfway to the building when I realized I couldn't hear my footsteps. Remembering the instructions, I rushed to my car, got in and waited 2 extra minutes. I then got out and tapped my foot on the floor to see if it made noise. It did. I then continued to walk towards the building, making sure I still heard my steps. I arrived at the building's doors and went in. I was greeted by a lady receptionist in a white pantsuit. I remembered the instructions about her and greeted her politely. She then led me to my security booth, and walked away. The security booth had a little closet that had a security guard uniform and a gun case inside. There was also a desk with a bunch of security camera feeds. It had 5 drawers. 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and 1 thin pull-out drawer in the middle. I waited about 5 minutes until the receiver went off. A lady's voice came through. "Hello, Mr. Harris. I see you've made it safely here," she said. I nodded, as if she could see me. "Good. Now, Mr. Harris. In the closet behind you there is a uniform. Change out of your attire and into that uniform. In the drawers is all you need. I cannot say anything more. Goodbye and good luck." The receiver turned off. I thought to myself, who says good luck for a job? I went to the closet and changed into the uniform. Surprisingly, it was my exact size. I walked over to the desk and opened each drawer carefully. Uncertain of what laid inside. There was a sheet of laminated paper, an empty mug, 2 water bottles, 1 labeled "Do Not Drink," and including what I brought, a blindfold, earplugs and 2 crosses. I picked up the laminated paper and written on it was a list of rules reading. Rule number 1. At 10:45 p.m. you will hear screaming coming from the last door at the end of the left hallway. If the screams are female, turn off the light, lock the booth door, and hide under your desk and wait till they stop. If the screams are male, go to the door you hear the screaming coming from, open the door and say "Hush," the baby sleeping, while doing a cradle motion with your arms. You will feel your arms get heavy, and when it gets too heavy you feel you're going to drop the baby. Give the baby to the man and put your index finger to your mouth saying "Hush," and proceed to leave the room and lock the door. Go back to the security booth. 2. If you see a man with a lab coat at any time during your shift, grab one of the crosses you brought and look him in the eye while putting the cross on him. He should burn to ash. 3. If you see yourself in the cameras, cover that camera with your blazer. 4. If you hear breathing behind you, put the blindfold on and count to 30, then take the blindfold off and check all the cameras. If there's something there, turn off that camera, wait, and turn it back on. The thing should be gone. 5. At 11 p.m. there will be a creature outside your booth staring at you. Grab the mug and the water labeled "Do not drink." Pour the water in the mug and go out in the hall. Put the mug on the floor near the creature's feet and get on your knees in front of the mug. Keep your eyes on the mug and the creature will take it and leave. If it doesn't, pray it will make your death swift. 6. At exactly 11:15 p.m. there will be an ear-deafening screech. Put your earplugs on and your hands over them. Go in the closet and stay there till you're sure the screeching is done and check all the cameras. If something is at the booth window when you exit the closet, then it has tricked you and you are as good as dead. 7. If at any time you look out the booth window and you're not in the building, shoot yourself with the gun in the closet and you will wake up back in the building. 8. If you see water drops dropping onto your desk, go outside the booth, wait 2 minutes then go back in. 9. Do not exit the booth for any reason between 11:35 p.m. 12 a.m. Trust me, you don't want to face what's out there. 10. If you ever need to go to the bathroom, do not look at your reflection in the eye. 11. At 12:05 you will hear the creature that was in your room come check on you. Pay no attention to him. He will leave at 12:40 a.m. 12. You will need to do a perimeter sweep at 1 a.m. Bring your bag and the rules with you. Whatever you do, keep your hand on the left or right wall and don't move away from it. The only time you'll move away from it is when you finish the sweep and get to the elevator. When you get in, no matter what floor you press, it will go down. When the elevator stops at any floor, get off. You might see a woman in a hospital gown. Do not look at her. She will take it as an invitation and follow you. Continue walking. If you hear deep breaths, stop. There is someone there with you. If the entity is male, he will ask you questions. Answer his questions with a "no sir" and nothing else. Do not ignore them. When he's done asking you questions, continue walking till you see a black door. If the entity is a female, then run and keep running till you see the door. Only open the black door. Do not open a red door no matter how much you want to. 13. When you open the black door there will be a person sitting in a seat with camera feeds surrounding them. You will tell the person you are relieved and they will leave the room. Lock the door behind you. 14. And remember, don't. The rules cut off there. I was thinking these rules were ridiculous. Until I heard the screams.